So we're gonna do about an hour tonight. This will be our first hour of a series on YouTube as well. So I am CapitalG with Borderline Gaming, and I'd like to kind of do a guide and let's play of a little bit of Civilization 6. We're going to do it on epic game speed because this game speed, not very many people cover this as much, of like how this differs from a standard playthrough so much, and some tips and pointers mixed in for those that are new to Civilization as well. Let's see what we want to do here. We're going to start on a map. It's kind of, we're going to go with we're going to stick with continents because we get some larger land masses that way. We'll get a standard size map here. I've also got all the expansions, so this might be interesting at times, with some volcanoes, rivers overflooding and all that. Because I have the most experience with her so far, I'm going to go with Gorgo. I'm going to keep it on Prince because I don't want to go too difficult here. But the thing about Epic, from what I've seen so far, now they've worked on some of the AI, made it a little bit better, but the AI still struggles with the longer game modes. So you're probably going to have a little bit of an easier time with the AI. I don't care if there's duplicates. Barbarians are where it's going to be quite the challenge. Okay, so looks like I don't mind as far as all the victories being there. We'll take a look at
from the first stirrings of life.
we'll take a look at it as we go and kind of decide. What I like to do is start my game and then decide what kind of victory I'm going to go after later, because at the beginning of the game I really just want to be ahead of everybody else. We're trying to push for that as much as possible.
Glory to you and your loyal hoplite armies. Greece savors the blessings from Ares.
You get the hoplite, the Acropolis, fantastic bonuses by the way. The hoplite, the one thing here, it's not going to kick in until a little bit later in our game, but we can push and get there faster than everybody else if we want to. The cultural points here really help, especially being we're going to see a lot more war. Alright, so looking at my settler, this looks like a pretty good place. I've got a hill there, I've got a hill there I can expand into. So I've got production where I need it. There's one thing you'll want to look for in your first city. I'm sitting on a spot here with some production, so I'll get some bonus production off that. I'm looking at expanding here for production, and I can work right down the river. I've got bonus productions here. So you want your first city to be able to start making things pretty quickly, which I think we can do with this spot. If I don't see what I want, if I don't see some bonus production a little bit around my first city, I may move, but I like this spot. It's not a very bad spot. This, if you notice, is not sitting on a hill. With the expansions the way they are, with the new Gathering Storm expansion, I kind of like the river tiles. If I'm settling by a river, to be on a hill because they won't flood. But this isn't terrible. It's not terribly likely to flood from the looks of it. So I'm going to settle there. Yeah, sure, I can move the woods. We're going to start with the scout because that's, that's everybody's go-to. The one thing we want to do is explore this as soon as possible, just like 2 tiles out from around our city. We want to see if there's any barbarians coming, but we want to keep our warriors close to the city to begin with. If a barbarian catches a glimpse of our city and gets back to base, it can be very devastating early in the game. The reason being, it's going to take, if you saw, it's going to take 11 turns for us to make a scout. That's a really, really basic unit. If a scout gets back to the barbarian, they spawn units on the next turn. So we really, really have to keep that under control for epic. One thing too, I'm on continents, and I know that right now I've got at least this area here to grow on. So I don't want to settle on the ocean right off, and because my tactic there will be, if I can build out, if I can stay on the bottom here on tech tree for a little bit and build this way, I can get my tech going faster. And even if I earn the boost here on top, I can, once I get the tech tree going this way and get these techs discovered, I can develop these techs in 1, maybe 2 turns, even without a boost. By the time I really dive into those. Unless I want to spend more time in the ancient era, which is good too, because then we can use those to leverage our amount of turns. Why would we want to do that? To avoid a lot of war penalties. That's why. So I'm just going to go with pottery. It's basic stuff here. Most of our turns won't take very long once I'm done talking it through here. One thing you'll notice about playing on the longer game speeds, a lot of your turns are not going to be as detailed. You won't have as much to do. You see we're already 5 turns in. If you play on the fast game speeds, you have a lot of things to do every single turn. You're going to have stuff coming off of your cities every turn. There we go, we found our first scout. That's decent, especially for us. As Gorgo, we want to find units around us as soon as possible and start killing. We get culture that way. And that way we can develop our ethics tree quicker than our competitors. And we've got a tornado. And I don't know which way it's headed. Maybe it'll turn and take our scout. Or maybe it'll turn and hurt us. Wow. So I haven't actually played too much with the new expansion. So I don't know exactly what all some of these weather effects are likely to do to us.
Reconnaissance units like scouts are unique in that they can gain experience by...
I thought Clay must feel happy.
Yeah, we've got our first tech discovered. So I'm just going to go that way, kind of why I think I'm going to go toward the archery, which that's really going to help us if there's a different civ nearby us. I'm going to pump out. I'm going to start working on my first warriors. Now I like to have about 3 warriors playing on epic speed, at least in the beginning. Once I discover another civ, if it's an AI, I'll just start building warriors going straight for them. Especially waiting, and sometimes you'll get lucky. You'll catch that random settler walking out and about. Sometimes they won't even guard them. Because I am only playing out Prince. Oh. Their scout. Go ahead and try to fight him down. If we can get him on the run, we don't want him to see this speed. There we go, we got some. Kill the unit. Just going to take that advantage to go take a gander at what's out there. So he has moved back beside his encampment there. And here we go. We have Scotland, I don't know. I don't know what Scotland does. But I can hear the theme song. Alright, I fell back a little bit. I'm gonna go down to that encampment here in a moment. I want a couple warriors with me. Gotta keep my units healed up.
Enacting new policies in our government can be of great benefit. Our people
It is best.
Alright. This is good because we're going to fight some barbarians for a little bit. So, I think I'm going to go. Like, as Gorgo, we get this wildcard policy, which is fantastic. Like, it's. Like, right now, I don't know what to throw in there, but it's going to come in. It's going to make a big, big difference later. And it's unbelievable that it's a wild card. We're going to do foreign trade, see if we can get to explore enough and see, find another continent. So we're healed up here. It's recommending a settler. I'm not quite ready for that yet. I know that a lot of you would go for a slinger probably and try to take your chances of killing a unit with a slinger. I'm a little bit more impatient, I guess. I'm going to go with a warrior there, and I'm just going to kind of explore this way with my scout. I'm going to bring him back, I think, but it's going to take too long for him to get here. I think by then I can even push down and probably eliminate that what we've got here. This guy, huh? Yeah, come sample our hospitality. Oh, he's down here eliminating our encampment there. He might take the bounty right there. A little bit of gold. Yeah, you can send it my way, that's fine.
I am fond of pigs. Dogs.
I won't turn down a delegation because the fact remains your AI, I'm more dangerous than you are.
Our city-state neighbors have made a request of us. If
Vosges, opposite Laodicea.
Like, I don't mind if somebody sends a delegation, comes overseas, but my capital, I'll show you how much of my capital we do, all that. I don't. Now, kind of measure people's strengths a little bit. Saladin over here has probably just that one warrior. And I'm not going to be able to take that this turn. We're going to see if he manages to take it or not. And there it is. Dang. Alright, attack him, not me. So, here's one of those things we want to avoid. So, depending on where their encampment is, they may be able to make it back. And if so, that's not good. So I'm going to try to corner them off, but this looks like it's all hills. Now, there's some cocoa up here, so, and a whole bunch of jungle. So this is, and mountains, mountain surrounded by jungle. Fantastic spot for some science right here. Assuming that center is actually clear, like I think it is. One thing I like to do, I like my second city to be science. The reason behind that is that I can get well ahead of everybody else in science pretty quickly. Assuming I can get that second city up and going. Which I'm playing against AI here, so it's definitely easy. Easy peasy. So I'm always kind of thinking not one turn ahead, but one step ahead. Where can I expand to next? Where can I... holy shit. Walked kind of into that, didn't I? I'm going to hope I can move and get my scout out of there. Yeah. Send delegation. I don't like to lose any units early in the game. Even if it's a scout, it makes each unit has that much more weight. Because it can take a dozen turns to make one. So fortunately, this can move several tiles. I won't be able to catch him. I'm going to go for that settler now. Oh shit. So their encampment is like right there. So this unit is almost atop him. I'm going to try to push in on that scout, but I think I'm already in a bad spot for it. I don't think I'm going to be able to stop it from hitting an encampment. And the encampment might be right here. That might be why they spawned it. what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit the scout this turn again. I'm going to swap these two military units next turn. Wow. Okay. I think he just got promotion. It did. Which is fine. I think I'm going to use that promotion. Go ahead and get that XP gain. I don't think that settler is going to run off anywhere. Yep, camp is right there. It's going to skip there. Alright. So you see how they immediately got a unit, and they might be able to get more units in a turn or two before I'm able to kill them. But the fact is, they won't be able to spawn them in, or they shouldn't be able to, because they don't have any adjacent empty squares, and they're in a zone. Danger zone right now, I guess, so to speak. Sparta needs food. You're good. So unless they have a promotion, I'm going to swap them out. Push in with this one. We've done it, and that's good because that will give us quite a bit of an era score here. We're halfway out of the Dark Ages for next era, so that's at least good. We're going to start moving these toward back home, and I'm going to move this guy toward where I'm going to be settling next. Why I do that, I want them scouted out ahead of time. If you find through somewhere here a perfect place to settle a city, I like to go ahead and set a unit on there sometimes. Depends if there happens to be another civilization up here that we might not know about. If they plan to settle, sometimes all it takes is a unit just standing in their way to block them from settling. Because AI, once again. Now a real player is probably going to do some sneaky tactics in order to screw you out of that.
Can be much more powerful and lucrative than simple improvements like this river has flooded.
Writing means sharing. It's part of the human condition.
Alright. So we could go that route. Go ahead and get those hoplites. That would be good. That's good because it's going to be a little bit before we actually end up in combat with another civ, because we're not in a tight enough box over here.
As our civic knowledge grows, so do our methods.
Every nation lives by exchanging.
So I'm going to drop that production in here, and because I think we're going to start building some stuff soon. I'm going to keep the card for the barbarians because it's good to have. These guys, by the time there's another barbarian encampment around here and I have to fight, these guys might not even be all the way healed. I'm going to go up this path now because I do like military tradition because of that flanking bonus. that affects every unit that I have. So that does stack on top of the hoplite bonus, by the way, too. So hoplites come pretty cool, pretty nice to have. So, I don't know what I was thinking here. If that's healed in time, which it will be, go ahead, move down here, start scouting out again. This cocoa isn't bad. This, no production there. There'll be one production from the city there, but if I settle, I like it. Plus it's floodplains. But I want to be, like right there would be the ideal spot if it wasn't dangerous. I think I'm actually cannot settle there without. Okay. Huh. Look at that. I'm going to move here, link up, and we're going to go up to there. Now I'm going to be able to do lines and granite and stuff. I'm going to do a builder. First I'm going to look at the purchase menu. Everything's priced higher because of the game speed. I'm going to do it that way. I like to buy a builder sometimes, especially, let's see, am I going to do another warrior right now? The next empire is way over there. I have a lot of room to expand, which is unusual for me. I might actually create another game to do this as well, to show you kind of how to build out, because this build is going to be different from typical. I'm probably going to be building more settlers, pushing out my settlements to here before I have to meddle with him a little bit. I could almost build another settler and be okay with that. Be happy. Instead, I'm going to go warrior. I'm going to hold this river right here. I'm going to keep him there, just to keep barbarians from crossing this here. He can go around if he wants it that bad. So mining has 2 turns. That too. Okay. I want to take that and that. I'm going to go ahead and take this too. So I'm going to farm, mine. Go ahead and heal up there. Ooh, probably have some guns. going to use one of his movement. So there's no penalty for actually doing this. You can use one of their movement and then heal, and you still get the full bonus hit points.
When you find yourself in a hole, quit digging.
Okay. So somebody finished Great Path. It's not a wonder I typically go for. So now that we have mining, I'm going to grab that one first. And interestingly enough, the barbarians pushed this way, so I'm going to go up that way too. Hide in the trees. Maybe I can see more from there. Not really though. Huh. Woot.
나 한국의 선덕 여왕.
Korea. Interesting.
우리의 만남 예견됐습니다.
Yeah, we'll share info about capitals. Wouldn't mind knowing where you're at. Reach out, kill that guy. Alright, I'm going to give this a recording. Alright, we're going to close up on part 1 right there. So, what we've got so far, we've got a little bit of a military here. Our 3 units about to settle into our second city. We have one person leading us on technology. They're getting a lot of tech per turn, which I don't like. They're Scotland though, and they're very close to us, so we're going to be able to do something about that. No worries about culture victory at this point in the game. Domination. We'll see. We're keeping ourselves well ahead of everyone around us. You'll want to go really strong military early on, and that's because you can't. If your military gets behind and somebody gets on your borders, you can't catch up because you'll see how long it takes to create a unit. That's where the big game change is here. On fast speeds of gameplay, you can create a unit in 1 turn. Being able to do that eliminates most of the need to keep an army, so it makes your economy a lot easier. You'll see that a little bit later in the game when we have a large army that takes an income, where warriors don't take any money. So we can, right now, if we had enough turns in the ancient era, we could actually populate out a big warrior army and just swarm the map. Which it's possible, I suppose, to start in that process. But let's stop there with part 1, and I'll see you again on part 2.